It's another wonderful edition of this program, Beyond Oil, on OSBC TV. Today, my name is Deji Adefila. As you know, we've been talking on this particular program what we need to do since the crisis of oil began in Nigeria and the world at large. Of course, every one of us will agree that there is crisis as regards oil in the world, and there is need for us to just find an alternative, a definite one that will make lives better for people at every level. And this is what we're looking at on the program. And today I have a guest on the show who is going to be talking to us from his own personal experience and perspective, what we need to do, the alternatives that we have beyond oil, especially here in Nigeria. He's a pharmacist and he's a doctor. I call him Dr. Siji Olamiju. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, sir.
It's nice to have you on the show.
Thank you very much.
Okay, well, just like as you have heard, beyond oil, there is need for us to look at alternatives. I mean, from your perspective, you know, from every area at which you can think of, what are the alternatives at which you're looking at?
Thank you very much, sir. Let me start by saying Nigeria is a monocultural economy, depending largely on oil and oil resources. And incidentally, the reserve and the oil we are depending upon is getting dry. And that is a serious issue, serious economic issue. Yeah. And the oil we are talking about, that we have faced for over 5 decades now, has not been able to sustain us. One, because the oil reserves management is inefficacious. And at the same time, this has actually given rise to a set of problems where the economy, the nation's developmental arithmetics were altered adversely. And as a result, this discussion and actions should have been taken about 2 decades ago. But we thank God we are not yet late. But I know that generally depending on oil, and we must remark that the richest nations in the world, they are not oil producing economies.
Yeah.
Yes, meaning that the oil we think will give us quick money is not actually the best reserve we can have. And there must be drastic approach, not only by talking, but by action that must be taken if we want to safeguard our economy from complete collapse. It's already collapsing. It's collapsing due to the 2 factors I've mentioned. The management of oil reserve, very inefficacious. There is no accountability to anybody, even the one we say we have. When we had it good, when we were selling our oil $145 per barrel, yes, I think so. Yeah. Then what did we get for it?
What did you do with it?
The reserve we have, what did we do with it? Some other countries did a lot of wonders with them. UAE did wonders, built 2 mega cities. Yeah. What did we build in Nigeria? Nothing. Everything siphoned, everything embezzled. The problem we are having now concerns everybody. Every well-meaning Nigerian, whether old or young. The crisis of economy concerns every citizen. And that is why the situation we find ourselves now shouldn't have occurred to us. In fact, in the next 7 years, if we have managed what we had very, very effectively and made judicious use of what we had. But be that as it may, well, we can't be talking about what we have lost. Let us see ourselves where we are. What we can do to actually salvage this mess. Yes. In this, there are several alternatives to oil.
Okay.
The crisis we are having now is going to be worse. There is no how. It's not a matter of course. I am not talking like a pharmacist. I'm talking like a strategic business manager now, who knows much about economy of the country. The reason is this: the countries buying our oil, our crude, they are now the biggest exporter of petroleum products
in the world.
In the world now. Before this time, about 4 countries in Africa were actually oil producing. But now the list is so far 20. It's no longer limited to Nigeria, Angola, South Africa, and what do we call it? Ghana, Togo, Libya. Other countries have discovered the best of our economic commodity. And the people buying it, they have bought enough reserve. Their shale reserve is even more than what we can perceive to be under the ground unexplored. And the 3 basic problems that oil as a mainstay of economy has is this. 1, it is easily depleted. It is not sustainable. As you are taking it, is not the rate of returns is slim. 2, it is also subject to international price shocks. You can't determine how much you will sell your product.
Yeah, depends on what's obtainable in the market.
What is obtainable in the market? Then, what are we talking about? So there are several alternatives, several options to actually salvage our economies now.
Okay, that is what we want to look at.
Yes. The first I will mention is this: agriculture.
Yes.
Before the advent of oil, before 60s,
yes,
the successes this country recorded
as regards agriculture
were almost unprecedented. Look at Obafemi Awolowo University, Africa's most beautiful campus. Was built not by a single kobo from oil product. Was built by cocoa proceeds. And go and see. Compare it with those built by petroleum products. Far apart.
The difference is clear.
Very clear. Our economy was good then. What was the ratio of Naira was even stronger than dollars at that time. But at the advent of oil has actually done a lot of damages to our economy than good.
Are you saying
yes.
Oil, discovering oil, is it a curse or a blessing to us?
In the case of Nigeria, it is a curse.
How?
The reason is this.
We have made money.
What have we done with the money? It's one thing to make money. It's another thing, better thing, greater thing to do something substantial with the money.
But I think maybe what we didn't do with the money could be the cause.
Yes, but in a way,
the oil itself is a blessing. It's a natural resource.
Good. It is a blessing, I understand. But to me, and to Nigerian case, it is not actually the blessing.
A blessing to us.
It has taught us to be lazy. It has paralyzed our economy. It has turned us to multicultural economy, to monocultural economy. Because you get your proceed within short time.
Fast money.
So that has done a lot of damages, causing neglect and relegation of other viable sectors of economy. It could have been better to take that. It would have been a very virile blessing. I didn't mean the leadership of this country took it as an extra advantage. Why not neglecting the other sectors of economy that were actually sailing the economic boat of Nigeria before that time? But that neglect, because we got cook money, and they now neglected, paralyzed other sectors. Now, what we are eating is finished. And it is now very pertinent for us to go back to the drawing board and picked the broken calabash that we used to feed that time, wash it, and actually augment it to start using it. Now, to the questions.
Agriculture.
Yes, agriculture on its own could actually could stabilize our economy more than 50% if well harnessed. I won't pick different areas of agriculture because time will not permit us.
Yes.
But generally speaking, there are 3 basic things that governments should do. Breaking the agricultural ground to sustain our economy in Nigeria.
Okay.
1, government on its own must make sure that they participate directly in the operations of agriculture. 1. 2, government must provide complementary inputs to agriculture. These are in various categories. 3, government, provision of hybrids.
Hybrids, okay.
Hybrids of animals, hybrids of crops and plants.
Yeah.
These are the 3 basic things, but actually loaded points that governments should look at. You know, before, when I was growing up as a son of a farmer, if you plant cocoa then, you wait for 5 years before you see you could get the first pod coming.
But now we have hybrid.
But now you have hybrid that will give you about 30 months. That's below 3 years.
Below 3 years.
Also, that time nobody can actually eat a chicken of 3 months. That time, our local breeds. But now you can eat 6 weeks. These are hybrids. Government must make sure that new hybrids, agricultural technology, must be taken as a priority.
Yeah.
Second option is tourism. Tourism can give us billions of dollars.
Definitely.
Honestly. But there are 3 things government must do to make tourism. 1, government must make sure that they scale up the allotment of fund to tourism. We thank God we are under good governance now. Government that, detest corruption, because the major problem Nigerian has had is actually indiscipline. The grandfather of our problem, or grandmother as we may term it, is indiscipline. Indiscipline begot corruption.
Yeah.
Indiscipline begot corruption. Corruption finishes the nation. So the word corruption is just a son to indiscipline. How many of us are disciplined indeed? A lot of atrocities occurring.
Are you saying that the leaders that managed our whole...
They were indisciplined on their own. And when you are not disciplined, you cannot instill discipline. Because what you don't have, you can't give.
Wow.
Now we have a very disciplined leadership. And that is why you are seeing this war against corruption. Believe you me, as you know, if we are all if I am disciplined, why should should government put some fund in my care and I will see it as my own? I will not. I cannot say, okay, because we want to take 10 people, 100 people, you must be paying money to buy free forms of government so that I can enrich my pocket. It's all in discipline. Indiscipline is the bedrock of all things. And that is why war against indiscipline must be re-energized. We need complete reorientation. If we want to sustain as a nation, Nigerians, some of the youths under 30 Grossly, most of them are indisciplined because even indisciplined traits were in them, meaning that it has become pathological, it has become generational, and is now endemically genetic in us.
Because even if we find a way out,
yes,
eventually with other sectors now,
yes,
if we are still not disciplined, we will still destroy it.
It is back to square minus, not even zero. The very first thing we must do is to make sure that we are well orientated. That our orientation about life is changed completely. We have to toll the path of discipline. If you are disciplined, as a disciplined man, I would not say, your wife is beautiful, I'm looking at her twice. I won't take bribe, and I won't give. I won't steal, I won't embezzle, because I will be protecting my integrity. There is nothing like integrity again. I must tell you, there is nothing like integrity. Take for instance, nothing is done on merit. That is why you see civil service, every system collapse. Because the person that scores the highest in their test will not be taken because he doesn't know somebody.
Well,
not only civil service, in all sectors, it concerns everybody. You understand? It's general. And that is why we have rotting systems. Our systems are rotting. Now, I made mention of government scaling up fund allotted for tourism. 2, government must also, reduce, try to reduce the stiff conditionality attached to tourist visa acquisition. That is very, very basic.
I will tell you something to just guide you, talking about tourism.
Yes,
there's something in South Africa.
Yes, sir.
South Africa made over 50 billion in 1 year in tourism. And statistics showed us that about 45% of that amount of money came from Nigerians that go to South Africa on tourism.
Can you see? So also the India as a country made almost more than that on tourism, and I'm very used to that country. Also, the money they used to they realized from Taj Mahal, their tourist, whatever, was estimated to be, I cannot quote the exact, but very huge amount of money, billions of dollars.
Wow.
And Nigerians were part of those people depositing that money to increase their bulk. So stiff conditionality on tourist visa acquisition must be repealed. Then thirdly, there must be provision or utilization of state-of-art facilities in our tourist centers. We have talked about agriculture. What we can do there. 3, we have talked about tourism, what we can do to make it work. Then thirdly, semi-solid minerals.
Okay, before we go to that third,
yes, sir.
Just take a break now. When we come back, we will still be talking on Beyond Oil. You're welcome back to the show. It's still Beyond Oil, and I'm speaking to Dr. Pharmacist Siji Olamiju, talking to us on Beyond Oil today. The third option, you talk about semi-solid minerals. Okay.
In that category, we have what we call shea butter. Shea butter is a very, very important raw materials for 2 basic industries.
Okay.
1, cosmetic industry.
Okay.
And pharmaceutical industries, where I belong.
Shea butter.
Yes. Do you know Ghana exported shea butter, bought from our people cheaply here?
Wow.
Honestly. And when we are talking of terms of trade, what are you importing, what are you exporting is the thing, is the basics. Nigeria imports very, very large quantity of goods. But what do we export? Aside our bad priced oil. Ghanaian businessmen will come to Nigeria, Ghana all the shea butter to their country. Then from there, they export and make billions of dollars on it.
Wow.
Honestly, it's heartbreaking.
Shea butter.
Yes. Just on that. Then another point, like it, which I will say probably fourth, is solid minerals.
Solid minerals, yeah.
Solid minerals, if well,
we are so blessed.
We have about 40 naturally occurring minerals
Nigeria,
spread all over the states of the Federation, free of charge, natural endowment, but they remain untapped. If you talk of tantalite, for instance, which is actually very, very lucrative raw materials in high technology industry and aerospace industry, we have the largest in Africa, and is there at Zamfara. Tantalite. It occurs as tantalum dionium. That is the rare form of it. Honestly, and you talk of gold. You have gold here in Zamfara, in Osun, Kwara, Kaduna, Kebbi. They are there. Untapped. Lead, zinc, you find them in Benue, Kogi, Ebonyi, untapped. Several of that. And you see people coming, foreign businessmen coming to illegally tap this in Nigeria.
I think the current minister of the solid minerals, former governor of Ekiti State, he is taking drastic action in regards to that. He's somebody that has seen more of these things. Now that he's a minister, we should hope for a better time. Yes,
by personality of Dr. Kayode Fayemi, you expect result. He's a result-oriented person. He's not a politician. He's a technocrat. And whatever he has desired to do, he will do. He is somebody that detests failure. And that is why I am happy that Nigeria is waking up to a new day, a better day. Things may be hard for us now. Let us endure a bit. We will be in surplus soon, by the grace of Almighty God. The future is very green. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
But everybody keeps saying that this year and even the years to come, it's going to be difficult.
Yes, it's very possible. The Yoruba people will say titari rola akola, toba sota dogi. The solid minerals we are talking about, there are some cautions, there are some precautions we expect government to take. One, the government should actually try to utilize the professionals in that field. I mean the people in geology and in mining. If they have bodies, government should partner with them, give them task. Honestly, give them task. I've never heard of that. Okay, we association of mining engineer miners, government come, we will do this, we will do this. Let's work together. They should actually draw them near and give them it, and practically give them targets, and they will deliver. Another thing is to actually curb illegal mining.
Illegal mining, definitely.
And that make sure that. Then, in the wake of that, other factors must also be taken into consideration.
Viewers have been speaking with Dr. Siji Olamiju. Of course, he has been able to tell us a few things. Told us some points that which you can embark upon, even as a nation, for us to make our economy better. We're going to go right now for this week, but when we come back next week, he's going to be with us on this program, and he'll be telling us some other things that people can do, individuals can do right now, that can easily lessen the pressure, you know, that we are having on our hands already. Well, and until that next week, we shall come your way again on this program Beyond Oil. My name is Siji Olamiju. Have a good time. God bless you.